All right, we return. I'm nervous. You remember what I said at the start about liking a hostile galaxy and all that kind of stuff? I'm beginning to regret it, guys. We'll see. All right, so I'm just here at Sirius, wondering whether maybe I do want to colonize it. As I've now demonstrated to you guys, the more planets you have, the more pops you can build at once. You know, you can have 4 pop percentage of a pop every month at Earth, and at the same time do the exact same thing at Sirius, and at the exact same time do it at the ocean world as well at the same time. So I kind of like that idea, but we'll see. It might cost us a lot. I mean, we got plenty of money. I haven't really shown you guys internal trading just yet, which is definitely something we can do, and I'll probably get on in just a second. Meanwhile, though, we do have this science ship. So this is over at Birana. 2 hyperlanes leaving, and we've just spotted an alien vessel come out of this one. So instead of going into that hyperlane, I think I will make for this one over here, and we will ignore their planet all the way over here. Okay, we'll figure out how to get to that class K star later if we can. I just want to see whether this is maybe a dead end or if it hooks into this star, because this star feels super isolated. So maybe I can grab that. Maybe I can grab this trinary system up here. And by the way, did we... No, this has to be Alpha Centauri here, right? Alpha Centauri is really cool. As a trinary system, it's massive. I haven't really shown you guys this yet, but you know, like, this is our solar system. Pretty cool. There's 2 like asteroid belts or whatever, pretty big. But Alpha Centauri is going to be like 3 of these next to each other, right? It will use like loads of space. The kind of battles and things that you could theoretically wage at a place like that. It's nuts. Anyway, so yeah, a little bit nervous about this. We do still have the Corvettes over there. Some of them are building their new lasers. That's not a problem. And let's just keep an eye now on the shipyard and see when this colony ship comes out. In the meantime, I'd also like to show you guys something else. Now, these are our policies. And these are relevant right here, right now. So policies define how your empire can or can't do things. And you can change policies, but your populations will get mad at you if they are ethically one way or ethically another way. Later, you're going to see that the people of Earth start fracturing into different factions, and depending on what policies you use, you can please some factions and not others. You can get influence from some and less influence from others. There's all kinds of fun stuff. For now, though, we're all unified and we don't really mind. But so, for example, I won't go through all of these. There's policies for how you choose to bombard alien planets, what kind of wars you can declare. This one's first of all quite important, the initial border status. The borders of our empire represent our very grasp on the galaxy itself, and we must decide if they are to be open and welcoming or shut and guarded to other civilizations we might encounter. So, by default, the humans have actually closed their borders. The borders of our empires must be well guarded, lest we fall victim to insidious influences. Only those who have proven themselves worthy may enter our space. Now, I actually don't like the idea of doing that. I'm going to set my initial border status to open. Isolation invites suspicion, and suspicion invites conflict. Let us show our neighbors that we have nothing to hide. So I'm going to click this. Now this won't... No one will get mad at me for this one. This is fine. But if I do it, I can't change the policy again for 10 years. But I'm doing this so that if the aliens we've just met are peaceful, they'll feel sort of chill if we can actually manage to translate their language. I want to be very clear to you guys that right now we are in a first contact scenario. As in, we don't know how to talk to these things. If they are intelligent, they seem it, but we don't even know how. So anything could go right, anything could go wrong. We might find out eventually that they're ethically just like us and they're our friends. And that'd be awesome, but we don't know right now. The day that that comes, I want my borders to be open so that I don't instantly tick them off. That's one policy change I wanted to make. Another one is this, that's quite interesting right now. It's our first contact protocol. Now, this one I cannot change. Because we are ethically xenophilic, we like aliens, we like the mystery, we like the unknown. We can't shoot at it. So listen, our first contact protocol policy is that as we travel the stars, there's a definite possibility of finding other life forms, and we need to have a clear stance on how to approach them. We will allow no hostile action to be taken against unknown life forms and only retaliate if we are to be attacked first. That's our policy. That means that I can't set my corvettes to sick this thing instantly. I can't do it. If we were playing a different kind of empire, you know, the other human empire, the Commonwealth of Man, you could do that. You could say unknown dangers may hide among the stars. To ensure our continued survival, we must be ready to strike without hesitation. You can go for it. So that's my policy. Now, this one I can't change, though. So we are at their mercy, kind of, in this first contact situation, our first contact protocol. Now, one of the cool things, by the way, that I personally spent a long time hooking up, really, is I created a little mod that actually makes this relevant in the game. In vanilla Stellaris, the AI will choose a policy for itself, but it will never actually utilize it, ever. My mod changes that, so that in first contact, they can actually attack. They might get mad at you, and they might fight. And they'll do it quickly. Only if they are ethically aligned to it, and so on. So, we don't know. And that's what adds a lot of the tension here, really. So, yeah, that's us. We are peaceful. You can change how you feel about slaves and killing people, like purging populations, and whether people should be allowed to procreate on their own terms. An interesting debate on that one, honestly, I feel. You know, how we view our trade, how we view food. So our food right now is we meet the nutritional needs of our population, but food is a precious resource and frivolous waste should be avoided. So we have normal food use and normal growth speed. We could change to nutritional plentitude if we wanted, which means that we actually eat a lot more food, but we grow faster. Look at that, pop growth speed 10%. And I think I actually want to do this as well. It's the fundamental right of each of our citizens to enter hibernation with a full digestive organ. Easy access to plentiful nutritional fare will be the fuel that spurs our growth among the stars. I know that sounds kind of weird, but you got to remember that a lot of what this game's written for, it's not expecting you to always be humans. You could be, you know, we could be giant tarantula creatures that have found a way to get to space. And so, you know, some of the information is sort of genericized. But yeah, I'll do that. I mean, we have plenty of food, and we're about to colonize a world full of food. So let's hook this up. And again, we can't change it for 10 years. So if this is a mistake, we're going to feel the sting. I think I'll leave those. And you can see the red dot now means that I can't change this. I think I'll leave those for now. Oh, man. Seeing the bombardment policy there is just making me excited for things to come. So, by the way, the whole idea of investigating these devils and going to their planet, that's a timed project. It will run out in, I think, quite a while. Yeah, like 10 years, I think it is. So it'll run out in a long time if we don't do it at all. But equally, by the way, they have the same thing. As I said to you in episode 1, this game fully simulates every other empire. So when I found them, they found me. They have a special project, and they have an icon at Earth. Like, we can find alien visitors in our home world. And if we were more aggressive, like the Commonwealth of Man, we could maybe try and shoot them out of the sky if they tried to do that. But yeah, they're gonna come and try to scan our planet. And if they are successful in scanning it, then they might be able to figure out how to translate our communications, and we'll establish real diplomacy. We'll find out what their borders are and all that kind of stuff. But that's if we let them to get to our home planet, and vice versa. Okay, woo. So let's just see what we got now, I guess. We are still building this goddamn colony ship. You know what? I thought that these videos I was going to get about 5 to 10 years apart in. And we are now on, what, episode 4? We're getting 1 year in episode, pretty much. We're just leaving December of the 4th year. We've already found an alien! Oh, no. Well, hey. Okay, so, you also notice, by the way, our star base is very weak at the start here. That was another little of my tweaks. Do I want to build another construction ship? Probably not. Do we want to build more corvettes? Probably we do. But obviously we're building the colony ship in the meantime here, so that doesn't really affect us too much. But if we wanted to spam more corvettes, okay, to be safe, to feel safer, which I think I do, we'll queue 2 of them up. We're going to run out of alloys. So how can we deal with the alloys, you might wonder? Well, here's a good thing. We can trade with our internal markets. So, if I click one of my resources, you see that we've obviously got 800 energy credits. And if I want, that is what my government has access to. there are private enterprises still on Earth that trade amongst themselves and deal with their own stuff. It's, you know, it's not state-owned things, okay? And they, if we pay them, they can subsidize our resources. So alloys, we can actually buy from the civilians, but we, as a government, will lose money, right? So I could spend 600 on 125 alloys. Just so that you know, alloys are expensive, genuinely. But they're what you build ships and military out of, so I do want to do it. So I'm going to buy 100. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to sell to our civilian industries some consumer goods, because we don't really seem to need any of these. So I'll sell 250, and then with the 250, I'll buy a couple more alloys. Okay? So that's very simple. You can add monthly trades and things. This is the internal market. Later, you can actually found a galactic market where you're trading with other aliens, but that'll be later. And by the way, there's a huge market fee on this of 30%, so you really don't want to do this. In early game, it's an idea if you're feeling a bit scared or whatever. Later, though, you can actually just like directly trade with people you find or do it through the galactic market and so on. So we'll deal with all of that. There's lots of different ways to trade, but what that's done is that's given me a couple more alloys. So when we come here, we can buy another 2 corvettes, as you can see. And, you know, once Earth's building construction is done, it'll be done in 20 days. We'll get more alloy foundries. And if you watch closely, we'll have less minerals coming in, but way more alloys coming in. Because these people, these unemployed people, are immediately going to go to work there. And they should be okay. Also, the shipyard's about to finish the colony ship all at that same time. So, lots happening, really. And, then I'll probably work on getting an archaeology ship going to figure out what was going on with that special archaeology project we saw earlier. So there you go. So we've now built the second alloy foundry. I thought we'd built a second civilian industries there, which would not have been good. We don't need the consumer goods just yet. So this whole idea of like getting houses and jobs and stuff might seem really confusing and weird to you guys. Don't worry.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
There we go. We just researched something. Don't worry. It will start making more sense later. Basically, as we upgrade these buildings, they're going to take more and more and more people to work in them. And then you're going to realize you can't just have them all in mines, which don't provide much housing. You need cities. And it will all start to flow together. Right now, everything's quite basic. What did we just learn how to create? Corvette hull points. Nice. Problem is, our corvettes are all floating around space, and we might not be able to upgrade them just yet. Let's see what cards we drew. Check it out. Look, another Voidcraft thing. And another one. So Corvette build speed and Corvette build cost can go down if we learn standardized Corvette patterns. Establishing new standards for the modeling and construction of Corvettes greatly improves the efficiency of the production pipeline. So that's pretty good. It will take us 64 months, or we can just spend 8 learning how to build defense platforms. So defense platforms are basically extra attachments you can put on starports that will allow them to defend themselves. So I think I'm going to go for that, so that we actually can get some defense on these things. So yeah, that should be all good, and it's still Voidcraft, so that's also fine. I'm pretty happy with that. There shouldn't be any issues. So he's still just happily scanning away, and he's to the south. So by the way, can we just see? Is it a dead end? It's a dead end. How am I supposed to get there then? No, they're both dead ends. Oh dear, that's somewhat worrying, I have to say. We can grab this and grab this, and I mean, there's a planet here. It looks like another ocean world. Seriously, game. But I've got to be honest. I was really hoping we'd get Alpha Centauri there. That's like half the reason to play humans. There's so much good sci-fi and cool stuff they do with Alpha Centauri. Damn it, and it's locked off. We can't even get there. Maybe there's a way around on the south. We seem pretty isolated here. If I'm boxed in against a single other empire in the heart of the galaxy, that's not going to be good. So we'll see what we've got. Right. Starbase will be done. Sorry, the shipyard. I mean, Starbase, shipyard is kind of both the same. This colony ship, remember how expensive this was? We could maybe build another one. No, we need more alloys. If we're spending the alloys on the military, then we can't. So here you go. Here's the colony ship. So, this guy cannot do much. He's a very cool, very special thing. Very vulnerable. There are, like, thousands of people on this thing. If it gets attacked in mid-flight and destroyed and not protected, it would be the worst thing in the world. You don't want that. What I do want, though, is to take it to a planet. So we get this colonize option. Let's go over to Bernard's star. This was it, right? This is the ocean world, yeah. And we can hit colonize. And we can click. And we can say where we want to live. I'm going to call this Deep Water Frontier. No, let's call it all. This isn't going to be very immersive. All you can eat for now. You can rename a colony at any point you like. But that it's not a very good like sci-fi name, is it really? But yeah, so once we come here, we can start getting this food going. I mean, look at how many districts there are. It's crazy. So you can actually force people to emigrate from your home world to this world as well. They probably won't want to do it because it's so distant and remote and possibly dangerous in dangerous territory. But you could do that if you like. I might encourage them to. The faster you get people here, the quicker you can put some buildings up and actually get things going. But we'll see. Then there's also the question of the starbase. So this is just an outpost and it really can't do anything right now. So how about we upgrade it? We're lacking alloys again. Damn. I mean, we get 25 a month now. So I'm going to look to sell some minerals here. So we'll sell 500 minerals. And we will buy... we're getting gutted here, to be honest. This is some pricey stuff. So we've basically spent all of our money now. But we are much closer. We got in just next month, when the month ticks over, we'll be able to... buy this this upgrade and turn this into a fully fledged starport. And as a starport, we can put modules on it, we can put buildings on it, we can create another shipyard. You don't just have to make ships next to Earth, you can make ships at any star shipyard you want to build. Yeah? Right now, this is just a little outpost that doesn't do much, but we'll upgrade it here. So, there is a limitation here though. You can only have so many star bases, like upgraded ones. Outposts, you can spam all over the galaxy, and you can say, these are my borders, right? You can have loads of them. But to actually upgrade them into starports and beyond, you got a limit. So this will be our second of just 3. We can only have 3 right now. We're right at the start of the game. And I'm happy with that, though. And it will appear on the outliner over here as well. So that's good. And I'll probably make it another shipyard. I don't know. So here's our colony ship. I love this little animation here. They got here pretty quick. I know that we've got a construction ship we can go tell to do something, but I do want you guys to watch this. So we're going to land and we're going to begin our conquest of a new world, which is a big moment, really. I really thought we'd be doing this Alpha Centauri. So there you have it.
Knowledge
we get it.
Is the key to the universe.
We get above it. It says that they're colonizing. There is a % meter going up.
Colony establishment has begun.
And they go to land down on the planet. So, check it out. The first human colony. Our colony ship has made a gentle splashdown in the planet-spanning ocean of all you can eat, just off the shores of a large archipelago. This fertile island chain will serve as an excellent first landing site. I always say that word wrong, by the way, always. You can watch videos of mine from years ago where I messed that word up. The ship has been permanently anchored in preparation for its conversion into the administrative headquarters of the new settlement. Its reactor core is in the process of being removed so that it may serve as the colony's temporary power source. Hundreds of small tents and prefab shelters have sprung up on the islands surrounding the former starship's massive hull as colonists begin to disembark in large numbers. The first human city on an alien world. A great day for the United Nations of Earth. There's 150 engineering, which I talked about before. So, yeah, there you have it. I love how there's so much that changes in this dialogue based on what kind of planet you went to and stuff. Like, I like how it describes how they're actually on separate little islands. So, there's a lot to talk about here now at All You Can Eat. We're in a colonization process. This world is being colonized and it will be complete in 5 years. Don't worry about that length of time. We'll be speeding the game up a little bit by that point.
Research concluded.
But we are getting started here. If you have a look at the planetary features, you'll see... Oh, no, we're not there yet. Eventually, you will actually see where we are going to live. Now, the governor here is the governor from Earth as well. We could assign a different one if we really wanted. But they should be ready. They'll be okay. So let's talk a little bit more about planets as well, real quick. So the governor himself can have different perks. Like this one here, this leader is incorruptible and harbors strong convictions regarding what is right and what is wrong. He as a governor just reduces our crime, which is awesome. Maybe we can recruit another governor, like this one here, increases our research, right? These are intellectuals. And I kind of like that. Here's a 52-year-old person. Here's a 39. Let's get Mikhail Fedorov, all right? Oh, I don't have the money. We don't have the money anymore. Hold on, we can sell more food. We're going to have so much food to sell, it'll be fine. I'm going to sell 500 food there. It's all right. Okay, so let's hire. And by the way, a bit like technologies, the people you can employ kind of roll through as cards almost. I think they recycle every 10 years as well. So anyway, let's do that and let's get research going on Earth so that we get our technologies nice and quick, right? And I don't think that crime is going to be a problem, right? So we can do that way. And maybe we can find a governor that's really good specializing in food. We'll find lots of ways we can specialize our planets. Can you see how this says it's an empire capital right now? The capital planet of an interstellar empire is a vast complex of governmental buildings, bureaus, and agency headquarters. That will not be that for our new colony. We'll get different perks, which will be pretty good. Let's quickly grab 2 more technologies. So we now have blue lasers. So let's tell these guys to upgrade. We could learn about deflectors. So these are a new form of shield that we can slot. And we would have more defensive ships. Or reactor boosters, which gives the ships more power to work with. I think we should do reactor boosters. So basically, we have fission reactors on our ships right now. Right? If we go have a look at one. And what that means is it's got 75 energy that it can play with. Power, right? That affects how many energy credits we spend on it every month. But what that means is all these other components take power. They all cost it. And we only have 75 to work with because of this reactor. But if we get this new research here, the reactor booster, the reactor will give us even more. And then that will be good because it will mean that we actually have enough power to power up our blue lasers. The blue lasers are probably quite expensive on energy. So we'll get a reactor booster. I think that will help us. And then there's armor here as well. Look at this nano composite armor. Reinforced nano composite hull plating can provide an extra layer of protection that could be the difference between life and death in a combat situation. There's a different type of weapon here, flak battery as well, I think. And then there's nukes. Do you want to do nukes, guys? They can penetrate shields and do... let's just get some armor first, right? Now we tech these things is actually feeling quite important to me. Okay, so that's those. Let's go back to Earth again real quick. The other thing I wanted to show you guys, I wanted to do this last episode, but I forgot, is the planetary features on Earth. Now... remember how on the alien worlds, they were like dangerous wildlife that we didn't know how to get rid of? Well, there's also some challenges on Earth, but we do already know how to deal with them. So look at this. There's a sprawling slum on Earth. This region is covered by vast shanty towns. Not quite sure where exactly it says they are. And slums filled with the poor and the outcast. Now, I can just spend some money here. I can spend 300 credits. And 120 days, it's just 3 months. And we can get rid of those slums. And what's cool about getting rid of those slums is it's more space for our people to live. And, well, look at that. We get a pop straight away. All the people living there that aren't productive to our society right now will instantly become productive. We get a pop. So let's do that. There's also an issue at the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. A swirling miasma of plastic refuse covers a good portion of Earth's largest ocean. Oh, I believe it. And that will give us some good stuff, agriculture districts and stuff, but we don't have the money to do with that. There's an industrial wasteland. This region is covered by ruined industrial complexes and toxic soil, detritus from a past age of progress. So we could get rid of that at some point as well. I think that one might give... what does that give us? I'm not sure. Then there's some special Earth areas. Check it out. The Scandinavian Reclamation sector. Reclamation efforts in the late 22nd century eliminated all but the most stubborn pockets of radiation, and mutation levels are now at an all-time low since the containment breach. We got the Saharan Irrigation project. Few today remember the vicious ridicule that Operation Green Sahara faced when it was first proposed by Professor Izquierdo. So, you know, they revitalized it somehow. You've got the Mesopotamian Urban Corridor. The megalopolis, that stretches along most of the Fertile Crescent is in itself a monument to this ancient birthplace of civilization. The Bosswash Metropolitan Axis. Bosswash riots traumatized an entire generation and led to sweeping legal reforms. Never forget. The Pearl River Agglomerate. The first region on Earth to be officially designated a megacity. Several other developing urban regions would eventually adopt their own versions of the Golden Delta's successful anti-pollution policies. So we've got some kind of massive city here. Pearl River? Is that in China? Like, I genuinely believe it would be somewhere there. The Mauritian Security Zone. We actually heard a little bit about this before, if you remember. Unexploded munitions are still occasionally found near the compound where the Colonel Tetsu and the remnants of his brigade made their famous last stand. And then finally the Great Albertan Crater. When 711494 Satis approached Earth and triggered the Great Panic of 72, everyone thought this was it. The big one had finally arrived. Fortunately, it wasn't big enough to cause an extinction event. Unfortunately, it wiped out most of Alberta. So you get a little bit of information. There is, like I say, some real lore here going on, and you guys might not realize, but if you've installed the game, if you look in the install directory, there is actually a book, a Stellaris book that you probably own that you can read, that tells a little bit about Earth's history and I believe the creation of the Commonwealth Man and all that kind of stuff. And you get little hints to it on the planetary features of just this planet. It's pretty cool, right? So anyway, a little bit of who we are, where we came from. Those are our features. And that's the Sol system. Okay. So, construction ship. You are going to come down here, I believe. Yep. And you are going to build that starbase nice and quick. Hopefully soon. Shouldn't take him too long. Yeah, because we left him in waiting, remember? So he can enter that hyperlane nice and fast now. This science ship is continuing its work, just making sure that it examines all this stuff in this lovely looking system. The Celsius is waiting for further commands. Not quite sure what happened there. It just decided to stop. We'll survey that one as well, over there. We can have a look at what the Devils are doing. And look, they're surveying the ships. Sorry, the planets in this area of the world. Let's upgrade these ships as well.
Anomalous readings registered.
Some kind of challenging anomaly here. The Aggregators detected faint traces of weapon radiation indicative of a military spacecraft originating from here. A spacecraft? I'd quite like a military spacecraft. Where are we? At the sun? Challenging 250 days? Screw it, let's do it. That seems pretty cool to me. Alright. All you can eat is coming on well. It's just a matter of getting more resources now and more stuff. So I'm gonna
survey concluded.
Speed the game up a little bit now, and we'll see exactly what everyone's doing. So right as we finish this survey, we did find an anomaly, which will tell him to research. The atmospheric patterns of this place are highly atypical for a gas giant of a modest size. So we'll see what exactly he's gonna find. One of the other construction ships is ready and waiting.
Key to the universe.
Get another technology here. Nanocomposite armor, that's good. There's tier 2 armor here now as well. Okay, so there are tiers. And so we just got tier 1 armor. Here's the next one. There's nothing in Voidcraft for her to do. But this is materials science. And didn't we find someone who was good for materials science? Yeah, we did. It's this person, like right here. Let's swap her out. Let's swap her out. Okay, so the way we're going to do this is pick up the material science armor. Grab this. She's on a research mission, actually. So hold on. Maybe we let her finish her research. That's not him. Man, she's going for it. Hold on. Let's hit stop on your actions. Let's swap you with Lindsay. And now let's add her. So there you have it. So now we are in a position where we have a materials scientist who is also eager, working on the ceramic metal armor. And we have Lindsay now in command of this ship. And she can research the anomalies and then survey the system. And then go survey that system over there as well. We want to be quick.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
while we are in this first contact scenario, we want to watch these guys carefully. As xenophiles and people whose first contact policy is to be peaceful, we can't do anything really. But if I were playing an aggressive empire, if I see that they finish surveying something and I see what looks like it might be a construction ship, I mean, we won't know because they're unknown. It's just question marks. But if it looks like there's something building, I could attack it as a preemptive strike so that the construction ship can't finish what it's doing, and I could claim the space for myself. Or if I see their colony ships, I could attack those. Or if I go into their systems, I can skirt around the military strength of their outposts and their star bases, and I could attack their other stuff, their civilian stations. I could be quite aggressive, and the thing is, they might do the same to me. So anyway, this place is researched. We have the money for a star base, so let's grab that. I want to grab this one first because it has more stuff, right? It's got the energy, it's got the materials, it's even got some
ship upgrades
what do you call it?
Applied.
Strategic resources there. All right, so that's some upgrades. These are some more upgrades. Here we learn the reactor booster. I mean, the thing is, if we want our guys out in the field, they can't just keep getting upgraded. That's the problem we have right now. What else have we got? Well, this is pretty good. The global energy management. We could get more power for our ships. Let's do this, actually. Let's do quantum theory. Exploring the meditation of fundamental forces through subatomic particles. This will be good because this is the person with the spark of genius, so she'll be good at anything. It doesn't take that long, and it ramps us up forevermore in the future, so that's fine. As things get more expensive, we want that kind of ramp to keep pace. Over at the gas giant, what we had assumed was an anomaly, abnormally small gas giant, whoa, look at that, is in fact not. Beneath a deceptive cover of thick dust swirling in the upper atmosphere lies a regular planet. A barren planet, but a planet nonetheless. This has proven quite embarrassing to the astronomical community on Earth. Wow. So it turns out that this planet was not what we thought it was at all, and its class just changed. That's what we saw there. Right, so we're moving on. We're all embarrassed. Right, so let's go send our science ship all the way out over here now. And I'm telling it to just explore that system because it's already going to be surveyed by the other people. Completed. By the way, we found another planet over here. So this one is all... What's with all the ocean worlds? Oh, maybe this one we saw before. Unlike the other ocean world, this one is just a massive city district place. Lush jungles with a dense canopy and a nigh impenetrable vegetation density. These jungles are poor in soil quality, but rich in plant life and fruit-bearing trees. More animals and dangerous stuff out there, so we don't have to worry about that too much. Let's go have a look at the upgrade here. So this is going to be done, and it will become a full-fledged starport. Completed. Planet Earth just finished building its second alloy foundry, which is nice. So over at Earth, well, we'll see what this looks like first. In about the end of the month here.
Construction completed.
There you go. So we built that up, and now we can pick these modules. So what do we want to do? Well, we just don't have the alloys for anything right now. But we can do all kinds of stuff, particularly in the name of defense. But if we have a look over at Earth, you'll see that we now have 27 populations. And there's still a job available. Completed. So there's no need to build more districts. We don't have enough people for more buildings right now, and we could spam more districts, but what would be the point? We don't have the employees for it anyway. I mean, we could spam a ton of mining districts and then favorite the job. Tell them to favorite it. That's probably not a good idea. Another thing we can do is get our armies ready. There is a chance in the mod I made for in a first contact scenario for an alien species to instantly attempt an invasion. You can have a first contact war, which is a war where you have no idea what they want, they have no idea what you want, but you know, hostilities break out. It's rare, and I don't think it will necessarily happen, but to be safe, so that your planet doesn't get occupied really quickly, it's a good idea to maybe get a general. So that's what I'm going to do. We've got Gertrude Klein, Kentaro Hashimoto, or Elena Markova, sorry. I'll go with Gertrude Klein, who is a butcher. Army damage plus 10%, but she also has extra collateral damage. She's particularly skilled at inflicting casualties on the enemy, offering no quarter and expecting none in return. What's this one down here? This is an army logistician. Oh, army upkeep is cheaper. Maybe I'll do... We don't have the money. We don't have the money.
Construction
we have
completed.
We have to keep getting resources. That's what we need to do. Let's keep focusing on our construction ships. So, just as we did at the start of the game, we now own the system, but there's resources to get here, right? So let's grab them. Let's grab a mining station here. And let's grab... well, hold on. Let me cancel that order because that was stupid. Let's do that there. And we want to think about what order we go in. I guess that's okay for now because we can't get the strategic resource. Right, let's talk about this planet here. This trade value. Trade value you can't mine. There's no, like, trade value mining idea. But you can collect the trade value if you encourage civilians to come to this system and participate in commerce. So over at our spaceport, our starport, sorry, if we upgrade this, one of the modules we can build, in fact, let's look at the one that we did upgrade, okay? One of the things we can build is this, is a trade hub. This is a civilian docking area where merchants and traders can conduct business. So if you build a trade hub, civilians will come, live here, and actually, you know, set up enterprises here. And if you allow your civilians to set up enterprises, sometimes they'll get extra trade value out of this. So maybe they're finding precious gems, or maybe they're selling tourism to people to have beautiful views of this molten world, right? Anything like that, any kind of civilian industry that would then mean you can get money from this area, all right? It itself is not producing energy, but we do encourage economy in this area, and by collecting this trade value, basically. So we want to grab that somehow from some kind of nearby space station. Now, I already told you, you can only have 3 big star bases. So how do you get all the trade value everywhere? Well, if you want, instead of making this place a shipyard, what we can do is we can build multiple trade hubs at once. And every new trade hub you build will encourage civilians to look further and further away. So, like, if there's a really big trade hub here at Bernard Star, it will be able to collect the trade value from this system all the way over here. And, you know, even this system all the way over here, right? Like, the civilians will move further away if you build that infrastructure, which means more money, but the downside is you won't have a shipyard here, or you won't have, like, a defensive station filled with gun batteries and missile batteries and stuff. So that's the play that you're making there. I think I do want more money, for sure. And just so that you guys know as well, trade value can convert into different things through our policies. So look, we have a trade policy. Trade is an important source of prosperity and brings in a great deal of resources for our empire. We must decide where these resources are best directed. So if you encourage a lot of trade around your empire, what do you want it to do? Well, you could just turn it all into money. So every bit of trade value is 1 energy credit. Simple as that. So that 4 trade value would just be 4 energy. Or you can, like, mix it up. You can make the trade value actually turn into a bit of energy and a bit of consumer goods, which is pretty nice. That frees up some of your planetary infrastructure. Or you can turn it into unity, a market. You can take the philosophy of having a marketplace of ideas. Trade can be used not only to move goods around, but also to facilitate the spread of ideas. We should focus our trade efforts towards ensuring that the message of our government is heard on all planets where we do business. So then you get more unity and you're getting those special perks quicker. This one is profits and taxes must take second place to improving the lives of our citizens. We should focus our trade efforts to get less money, but, you know, more of these other things. I'm going to stick it on wealth creation for now and just keep it as revenue for the state. Think of it as just like taxing the trade value. And, yeah, we'll go more with that later. There is another thing, by the way. Civilians won't just trade, but
Ship
pirates.
upgrades applied.
Rogue elements of your own empire can decide they want the trade value instead, so you need to patrol systems with corvettes and make sure that the pirates aren't, you know, getting their own way too much, because they can eventually become outright hostile. But we are still just a tiny little empire, so it doesn't matter too much. Okay, so next, the science division. Speaking of unity, the number of science and medical officers has been increased throughout the fleet, organized into a special Science Division. To support the Corps of Officers, new training programs have greatly accelerated the rate at which we commission new science officers. Cool. So what does this do? it gives us a bigger hand with techs. Look at that. Research alternatives increased by 1. And our scientist level cap has been increased by 2. So you might think, well, hold on, level cap? I didn't even know there was a level cap. Yeah, I think it's 5 by default. And there's loads of different ways you can extend it. And you might think, well, hold on, WP, you don't even have a level 5 scientist, so why is that relevant? You got to think about this, though. What if I'd gone expansion first, and then domination, and then supremacy, and now finally I'm doing discovery 1,000 years into a campaign? All of a sudden, that feels really good, right? But so the bit I really care about, because of the order that I did this in, is look at this. If I look at my technologies now, oh, I guess it won't happen until we do another full draw. That's kind of cool, actually. Well, next time we draw, it won't be 3, it will be 4 in the hand. Which is kind of one of those things that you might think, oh, is that really that good? Believe me, it's good. Really. So, you want to pay attention to that. Okay, alien spacecraft. What was the result of this at this star? A badly damaged military vessel bearing elaborate alien insignia circles a braid. The ship has suffered a heavy incendiary attack, which has melted its hull, leaving no survivors aboard. No weapons known to us today can produce temperatures high enough to cause such an effect. Perhaps the ship's logs may shed some light on this violent end? Okay, so let's examine the logs. And we could choose not to. Is that going to be a special project? It is. Okay, so we can grab this scientist. And what we want the scientist to do is to study at the star. Now, if I do that, it's going to cancel everything that I've got him queued up to do, right? In terms of, I told him to look everywhere here, which is going to take ages. And I told him to go over here, and then we'll see where we can go. This is going to be really annoying, right? Well, here's the thing. If I hold shift, then I can add a new action to the end of his job list. But if I hold control and shift, I can add a new action and tell him to do it first, at the start of his list. So if I could go control, shift, research project. If you watch now, he'll turn right around. Completed. He'll do the job, and then he'll go back to all that old stuff I told him to do. And there won't be any problem whatsoever.
Construction completed.
Looks like these guys are not patrolling with any corvettes, this science ship, by the way. Which most empires do.
Ship upgrades applied.
That might be a sign that they're somewhat peaceful, or that they've actually got lots of science ships and only a couple of them are being escorted. That's more likely to be the case. I guess we'll see. So anyway, yeah, we'll figure out what exactly is going on here. It's not going to take him long at all. And, hey, maybe we'll get a ship out of this. I'd really like to get a ship out of this. This would be very, very, very cool.
The special project has concluded.
Oh, God. Okay, hold on. The Rubricator. An analysis of the ship's logs reveals that the crew met its demise when trying to retrieve an irreplaceable alien artifact called the Rubricator. It was stolen from their society by a pack of thieving rats, a curious choice of words as they themselves are most rat-like in appearance. The logs are mainly comprised of curses, willing the rat robbers to the end of the universe and beyond. The crew has counted upwards of 50 individual words for defecation, as well as a wide selection of places from which a star's light cannot escape, but their arduous work has paid off. We have uncovered the last known location of this Rubricator in a previously uncharted system, and if we are to believe its former owners, its powers are worth pursuing. I read that a bit weird, I do apologise. So we can just say no to all of this, but I'm going to go for this. So the Rubricator event chain. So, some horrible artifact can produce big heat and destroy things, and we want it. Sure, let's try and get the Rubricator. So, going back to this now, the last known location of the Rubricator, an alien artifact of considerable power. Let's track it on the map. And you'll see that that is now being tracked, and so is... Ah, here you go. The Rubricator. Ah, okay, so this is pretty cool. Hyperlanes can appear and disappear throughout the course of the adventure. It's a mechanic that the devs don't really use much. There's a brilliant mod. I'm not using, by the way. Like I say, this is mostly vanilla that I'm showing you guys. There's a brilliant mod that actually just dynamically adds them as the campaign goes along and changes where your choke points are and where you think you're safe and where you can or can't go. Really cool. Big recommendation from me. But... sometimes the vanilla game does it as well, and that's happened here. It turns out there was a system right nearby that we just hadn't seen before, and it comes right off of Bernard's star, as you'll see there. So that's pretty good. We have a science ship on their way right through these systems right now, don't we? He's there. He's going there. Right, so instead, we will tell Takeru Yamarazaki, sorry, I should say, to go and explore this system, and we'll see what was there. Now, you might think, well, hold on, WP, a whole star appeared? Listen, here's my headcanon for it, all right? And I think this is pretty fair. This is a galaxy. Galaxies have billions of stars. Obviously, there aren't billions of stars here. You know, there's only like hundreds or thousands. Depends on how big you want the game to generate them. So, what I like to think of is this, that really, we can only go where the hyperlanes are enabling us to go. Not every single system in the galaxy is here. There are so many more stars, but these are the ones that the hyperlanes are actually like web-like getting us to. And our civilization is limited to those, and other civilizations are limited because hyperlanes are the only way that we know how to travel. Or maybe you can say that there are all those other stars just have nothing going on of interest, so they're just kind of culled off of the map. Anyway, we suddenly realize that this one is of interest, this unknown Class M star, and we'll be on our way over there now, and we can see what there is. Now, that Rubricator thing, to be honest with you guys, is one of the new stories, I think, that I've only played through once, and only have very vague memories of how it works and what it meant. So we'll see. Right, this construction ship is ready. I'm really not doing very well in expanding as fast as I should. So, and this construction ship's ready, but he wants 84 more alloys. So I'm just going to buy those alloys by selling some food and selling some minerals. And buying those. It's not good. The main thing that I want to do is use alloy foundries, but we're right at the beginning of the game and we don't have the population just yet. There's 28 people working now. The planet is perfectly balanced. There's exactly as many jobs as there are people living here. There's enough houses for more people. There's enough amenities. Everything's good. There is a little bit of crime, but not too much. Oh my god. Okay, we're already there. We already traveled through. And the coordinates for the Rubricator's last known location. We've discovered a habitable planet with what we believe may be some form of settlement covering a large portion of its surface. The settlement consists of tall pile-like towers visible all the way from space. Our archaeologists are eager to excavate it in search of the Rubricator. Okay, so start digging. So, this is Neshmet 3. Now, this is a very special type of world. This is a Relic World. A city once stretched across this entire world. Only ancient and abandoned ruins remain now. Their original inhabitants long since departed. So, in this game, when your planets develop far enough, you can turn them into city-wide planets called ecumonopoli. This is basically an ecumonopoli, but so old and the civilization's not around anymore, so it's been destroyed. So it's a very, very special kind of planet. And as you can see, it's habitable to us. We could actually go live there. But the question is, what's there? Well, there's metal boneyards. The hollowed out metal skeletons of fallen infrastructure seem almost to groan as the wind whistles through them. Dense ruins. The study of the dense ruins that cover this relic world are a boon to science, but their presence also limits the amount of livable space. There are crumbling mine tunnels, reactor pits, all these things that we need to find a way to clear out. They would cost us so much money, it's unreal. So yeah, we could try to colonize it if we claim this for our borders. So let's try and do that. We've got a science ship. The science ship can survey the whole system, and then we can build an outpost here, and then maybe colonize it. But also there is an archaeology project over there, so maybe we can't colonize it until this is done. Well, we need to learn what these rats were doing. It's funny because these rats are a lot like the Guild Wars 2 script, to be honest. In fact, I'm almost convinced that Paradox were like inspired by that. I don't know how big of a stereotype it is, to be honest. You know, the idea of rat creatures that love to hoard things. But listen to this. This planet is played host to a mammalian society of compulsive gatherers and hoarders. Their labyrinthine city is littered with junk, the towering ramshackle buildings pieced together from scraps of repurposed materials. As far as the eye can see are mountains of knickknacks, armaments, and artifacts. The tiny rat-like inhabitants did not produce any goods of their own, but were proficient spacefarers who likely pilfered the things they needed, as well as a whole lot of things they did not need from other alien cultures. It's difficulty of 1. I'll talk to you guys about how archaeology works later. It's very likely that this science ship will end up dealing with some archaeology soon. But there you have it. So, we're still just surveying over here, as are they. These are some mighty systems. I really feel like we've grinded down to a halt here. So this construction ship could build a starbase here. This guy's finished with this, so we can spend minerals on collecting all of these, which is very good. This guy is waiting idle. He has nothing to do. We'll send him up in anticipation of this system. Look at this, look at this, look at this. The aliens have just sent another vessel over. Now, I don't know what this is. The Devils? I don't know what this is. But if they're scanning this, they might want to build a starbase here. And since I can't fight them...
Research concluded.
What I'd like to do instead is race them. If I can survey this first and get my construction ship here first, I can build it straight away. And as long as they don't get hostile to me and attack me, which they very might well do, I can claim the space for myself. And then we can try and defend it from them. And we can just, basically, we're in the Wild West right now. We're just trying to land grab. Okay, so our society research is faster. So by studying the different forms of life that appear on our world. Some other basic technologies you'd ordinarily start with. Let's go for this one here. Which... Oh, I don't know, actually. Maybe... So this is a farming one. We're very agrarian right now. We're very farmer heavy, aren't we? So hydroponics farms basically allow you to farm even when you don't have a an agriculture district, which is okay. And you can put them in space. You can put them in star bases. You can put farms as buildings up there. People, you might get civilian trade and you won't get shipyards instead, but you can dedicate to that if you want. I don't think this is too necessary, but there are ways of like increasing the amount of food we get. I mean, like this here, eco simulation, and we get a new edict, which increases our food at the cost of influence. Maybe we do eco simulation. These basic technologies I do want to do. Oh, screw it. Let's just do these. These will be real quick. So, socio-cultural history. An understanding of shared past is necessary in order to make any significant strides into the future. So, this unlocks the Autochthon Monument. A monument to the first pioneers to venture into space. Basically, this is a building that we can put on a planet if we like, and it increases research, society research and unity. Okay, because it gives us culture workers. A whole new type of employment comes from this building. Culture workers, and they give us unity in society. So we'll just grab that. That's kind of a game starting one. It will be done in 2 months, so that shouldn't be a problem. You know what I kind of want to do? I kind of want to send one of my fleets to just follow this thing. Like that. Let's upgrade this fleet as well. And then once they're upgraded, I'll maybe send them to follow one of the other aliens. Dolores just upgraded again, so she's now got extra trade value as an investor. She's a shrewd economist. She's got architectural sense. Things are cheaper.
Ship upgrades applied.
She's an architect at heart, investing more in efficient construction practices.
Research
and she has an eye for talent. She'll actually get to a higher level than she otherwise would have. And she's leveling faster than normally as well. She's unusually perceptive, spotting talent where others see only eccentricity or incompetence. That's cool. So yeah, all right. We've unlocked that building, but I really don't want to. I don't need to use it. The next role, genome mapping. That's pretty good. That just straight up gives us faster population growth all the time. We can unlock holotheaters for our people on the planets, but that's not necessary. We could learn to clean the oceans, but we don't even, you know, our colonization efforts are still going on all you can eat, so we don't worry about that. Let's do this. Let's do the pop speed. That's good. Right, yeah, and now our other fleet. Where was that other alien? Oh, it's disappeared. So here's the thing. I haven't ever explored there, so if the aliens leave, I can't follow them. That's what I was saying before. I can't follow them. So what I'll do is I will instead give this guy an escort. because as soon as his survey's done, he's going there, and then he'll unlock the way, if you will, and we'll be able to figure out exactly what's going on. Construction ship's waiting around again, so
System
this guy's expanded. We can get that physics research. This guy can get this energy that's here. This guy has finished surveying over here, which is brilliant. Let's go do the archaeology now. So what we do is we take a science ship. We need to extend our borders first. All right, let's just leave him in orbit then. Go on, you just orbit and you just chill for a bit. It's not very good because we're spending money on him and he's not doing anything, but that's all right. He can wait in orbit until the construction ship that we set in there actually builds it. And I think we did send one, didn't we? Oh, we didn't. Did we build another construction ship? It's not too many alloys. It's a lot of minerals, but it's not too many alloys. So I do actually think that's a good idea. Now, I'd like to build it at Bernard's Star as well, so... But then that's more alloys. Maybe we... Is there trade in the area? There is some trade nearby. Let's get a trade hub going.
Completed.
Which will allow us to collect that trade nearby.
Construction completed.
And thus that's money, because we just turn it straight into money. And then what I will also do is I'll build one shipyard over here. And we can put a building up as well. It's even more alloys, because this is all spaceborne building. So screw it. I won't put the building concluded. On it. So, and then what we'll do is once let's put this trade, let's put the shipyard up. We'll finish the trade hub later, but we'll build the shipyard first. Build a construction ship out of the shipyard. Build another outpost up there. Start the archaeology.
Construction.
In the meantime,
completed.
These guys are generally finishing. I'm going to get them moving. They will take a long time to get there because they are on the other side of the Empire. I could actually disband them and construct new ones, but it takes a long time to build a construction ship, so I'd really rather not do that. Now, where is this guy? This guy can... Sorry. This guy can build this. Is he building it already? I think he is. If he's not, we can deal with that later. In the meantime, this guy can come up here. These guys are researching, and they have their escort. So that's good.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
These guys are just doing nothing. Do you know what? I'll bring the whole fleet together, I think, for now. I won't combine the fleets so that I still get 2 admirals and both admirals can level up and stuff. But yeah, I'll do that. Okay, what did we just research? All right, extra physics research. That's good, from quantum theory. Okay, so automated exploration protocols allows our science ships to just automatically explore. We don't have to manually do it anymore. A lot of people in the community of this game don't like that because they feel like, you know, it should always be there. But I think that manually doing it does let you connect with your area of the galaxy a bit more. How about let's get deflectors? This is a form of defense for our ships. And you can have them in small, medium, or large slots. I'll show you ship crafting later. But, or we could do more economy stuff. Let's just do deflectors. It won't take her long to research that. So that's good. Now, you are pretty much done, mate. I think I'm going to disband this ship. Okay, so any fleet you like, what you can do is you can disband. You can click this button, and any upkeep you're spending on it will then go away. But the 400 minerals I sunk into creating it and the 25 alloys will kind of be gone for good. So rather than doing that, I think I'd just rather have him travel over the next few months over here, and then we'll just get building.
To the universe.
Because what I can do is I can have one construction ship, build a starbase, and then the rest are just ready in orbit of the other things, and we just do a quick grab of all the resources super fast.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
So there you go. So we got stronger armor, and we've got the shields now as well. I could do improved deflectors, but they're way more expensive. If we want to keep getting these ship upgrades, we do need more power for them, so we should probably get a higher tier reactor. Remember, we use nuclear fission right now. Well, now we can put nuclear fusion on them. They generate a great amount of power for ships, but without many of the risks associated with fission power. So we could do that. We could increase all of our research by 5% by getting administrative AI going. Organizational circuitry, rerouting academic further. Let's get the better reactor. As for our engineering, nukes have appeared again. These are very low cost because these are like, you can decide what kind of weapons you want to use. Minerals from miners. plus 20%. Seems pretty good. Now, zero-G refineries allows us to get materials out of nebula. Now, what's a nebula, I hear you ask? If we have a look, I don't know if we're living in one. We're not. There are certain areas of space like this here. This is the Viel-Zulush Nebula. And there's a nebula over here and over here. These can cover multiple star systems. And the star bases you build in them can do different things. That nebula refinery, if you have a star base in a nebula, you can refine materials out of thin air, basically, because you're basically in a big dust cloud. And there's other stuff happening too. Sensors, you can't scan inside them, so like empires can hide their fleets in there and then, you know, ambush people or whatever. I actually once played a campaign on this where I hid my empire in a nebula. It was pretty fun. So we get another tradition. Polytechnic Education. In this age of increasingly advanced technology, a basic education in polytechnics and applied science will benefit all of our citizens. This will inevitably lead to more qualified leaders. So increase their cap again and their XP growth. Now the next one's going to be really special because we will finish the whole tree then. And we've done Discovery, which is like the first early game one we did, nice and quick. And when we do that, we get what's called an Ascension Perk. And these are really special. These are like what allow you to build mega structures or turn your entire empire into robots or whatever, okay? So there's a lot going on with that, and I'm looking forward to getting my first one. Right, was this guy done? He's still just headed over there.
Construction completed.
Let's see what else he's got to do. Now, here's the next question. Do we want to try and make for that homeworld? I kind of do. Should we change the plan? Yeah, let's change the plan. Let's go for the homeworld. We're going to go full exploration mode now. What I'll do is this science ship that's just waiting, he's going to be waiting there for ages. He can go survey without an escort. These guys can go out into uncharted space and we can try to get that. And once this construction ship's done, we'll hire a whole new scientist in a whole new vessel that will go do that. Okay, so we got lots of ships here. I feel pretty safe. So we're off into the unknown here. Now, Earth, by the way, has got an issue. There's unemployed pops, as you can see. So I don't have enough people for a new building, but districts are always available. So what do we care most about? Probably just straight up money, right? I think. I mean, we're not specialized to be better in one way or the other with any of these. We've got enough food. We just want money. So, yeah, just give me money. So we'll build this generator district. If I was a little bit smarter, I would have done that 200 days ago. Ooh, there's something else going on here. We've encountered some form of alien vessel in the Azala system. These strange creatures have been flagged. Alright, so, wow. Alright, there's a lot going on here now. Oh my god, seriously? Well, this was a world devastated by some catastrophic event. Whatever properties it once had are no longer discernible. Look at that thing. Oh my god. There is a space station filled with aliens that we don't know anything about. Or what they do, or who's inside. We have another special project, the Mystery Space Station. We've discovered advanced alien life residing in an enormous spaceborne facility orbiting the Azala system. If they possess a language, we could decipher it by scanning the vessel and establish communications. So this one will be more simple. This is not a standard empire. These guys just live in the space station. We can find out who they are. All I have to do is click research at the cost of 500 society research, which I don't think I want to worry about just yet. The thing is, I found them and they found me, so I'm pretty sure they'll open conversation with me soon. We're gonna find intelligent life in a moment, guys. It's gonna be pretty interesting. Also, this is not a regular star. This is a neutron star. Beautiful, isn't it? Very cool. There, in case you haven't noticed, the scale of all the celestial bodies is all over the place in this game. It's just to make it look good, right? But these are very, very massive, very, very, very dense stars. If you don't know what they are in real life, they really do exist. They spin ludicrously fast. Really interesting. In Stellaris, quite often you'll find you get physics research and stuff out of them. But also, you guys should know something. Every system we go to has a special category. So this is an unsurveyed system right now, because we don't know anything about it. But if you look over here on the right, there is a modifier for the system itself. Shield nullification, 100%. Environmental effects and hazards affect all fleets inside the system. They are usually caused by the system's star or due to it being inside a nebula. So if we tried to protect our ships with shields, like those we just researched, they will not work here. Equally, if an alien empire has a massive fleet shielded, you could bait them over to a neutron star, fight them there, and then destroy them. Equally, you could put a big-ass space station here and try to, you know, play into that. And put all the guns on the space station would be good against stuff that doesn't matter about shields because they won't have it anyway because of this star. You can see how much, like, terrain and stuff that's going on. Equally, having my... claiming this space as my own when there's aliens living here is probably pretty good too. This is such a cool-looking area, man. I really like it. So this is a wild system. Why the worlds are cracked, I don't know. I mean, this is a really crazy system. And do you know what's amazing to me? I don't even really care that much right now because what I'm trying to do is get up here as we only have... Oh my god, only 127 days left. We might not make it. Well, let's see what we can do. So let's go explore this hyperlane here. Look, all the hyperlanes coming off of this place as well. I'm not sure we'll make it. Oh god. Oh, no, really? Okay. We have been informed that the unknown creatures, codenamed Devils, have struck at us in neutral space. While we cannot communicate with their strange vessels, it is clear they are willing to fight and die for what they value. We will need to find a method of translating their language to enforce any meaningful ceasefire. We will withdraw immediately, or this is our space too. Shit. Yeah, they're not friendly. That, by the way, that's the Devils. That's not these guys in this ship. Do I still want to go to their homeworld? I'm not sure I do. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Okay, and how's our colonization going? Pretty good. We'll almost be on an ocean world soon. And lots of special stuff to do there when that happens. Guys, that's going to have to be it today. Thanks very much for watching. I'll make some decisions between these next two videos. See you next time.